Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, new and old viewers. I'm going to be doing something I don't typically do on my channel, which is build or replicate something that's not 148. When I went to go buy two 148 planes the other day, a guy offered me these kits for about 15 Canadian dollars a piece. Knowing that they cost anywhere between 40 to 80 Canadian, I thought it was too good of a deal to pass up. I'm also a huge World War II history fan, so I don't mind doing a Panzer IV-H. Now, these kits were open, and this is one of the four that was partially completed. By partially, I mean the first couple steps. So this is the body of the tank. The detail or the instruction manual is also all in Chinese, but I could follow the pictures. I was planning on building some 148 scale tanks, but after reading reviews online, a lot of people tend to build them in 135. I always wanted these for the display cabinets downstairs. So that's some extra track links that's included there. We have the back of the turret armor, one of the armored plating sides, and a figurine. I believe there's two figurines that's included in this kit. Yeah, you can see the original owner has cut out some of this stuff. Some of these small detail parts. Oh. That was one of the armor platings for the side that fell. And it appears we have the rest of the turret detail there. So let's show you how to put it together. So I can see the person who originally started the kit has placed this back piece, this track roller, and these pickup rollers down here. So I have to place the rest of these along the side now. So here's the front machine gun port. So I'm going to skip adding all the side detail to the tank. It makes me a little uncomfortable not seeing what the swing radius of the turret will be before adding all this other little detail along the side. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the turret. I've got my pieces. Now it's just time to put them together. So I've added some detail in this front corner, not really too sure what it is. Some sort of piping system over here, and the front two hatches. So I then added these two little front niblets right here, and the front driver's hatch, and the front driver's machine gun. I now added all of what you see back here, all of this. That's a ditch light. I think that's a jack. This is some storage. This is for when the tank is not in operation to rest the barrel. That's some sort of pipe wrench. Sorry I haven't been as inclusive on this build as I'd like to, but some of the stuff is rather difficult to assemble, like this bogey wheel box that goes on the side of the tank. The more of the little detail pieces I add onto the side of it, the more I start to see it come to life as a fully functioning tank. So I now added this little piece right here. No clue what that actually is. Some sort of utility. It looks like it's a strapped on implement, maybe pry bars. Like, look at this one, for example. I had to add on those two hooks. This is not as easy as you'd think it'd be. Here, let's try to get it to focus. There we go. Yeah, so I had to add the hooks on. That's tedious, time consuming. So we got the box of bogey wheels on the side now. Doing some work off camera, I got a little carried away yesterday. I was thoroughly enjoying myself building this, I think. I got these side doors on here on the side of the hatch. Now the reason I had to go with open is if you try to close them, there's a massive gap. Now I could go through the work of filling in the back and placing them a little bit over, but I just kind of want to get this done. As you can see back here, there is a little handle on the tank. As I was placing the other one that goes here, I didn't realize I was gripping it so hardly with the tweezers. All of a sudden I heard pew! That was it fly across the room. I didn't even bother to go look for it. It shot pretty far. I think I also got some more detail on both front sides of the hull, or the turret. I got the jack, the headlight, the barrel rest, the wrench. Over on this side, there's an axe. Not really too sure what this is over here. Another form of jack. Oh, let's remove that turret before it falls. I also placed the bogey wheels on this side just to see how it would look. Alrighty. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fully assemble the tank, and then I'm gonna try to paint it with the airbrush to get the camo pattern on it, come back and touch up all the little details I added on the side. This is my first tank I've done, so probably should watch someone else's YouTube video. All right. Let me know in the comments how you would do this tank. Okay, so continuing on. I now have the, what do you call this here? The turret lid. So, if I recall, there's a special, yeah, you can see it goes on right. The glue I use is a pretty fast setting. I use just regular old Gorilla super glue. I don't use modeling glue. It's more available to me than like Tamiya model glue. But this is what you have to do sometimes to get pieces to hold. Just kind of manipulate them into your hand so they can rest there and dry with the glue. And then hope that your finger doesn't get stuck in it too. There. We now have it somewhat dried in place. I've now installed this little nozzle right here for supporting the MG34. So I now have installed the mount and the MG34. I went with it a little to the side just so I could adjust it later when putting in the Commander. To get 4 of the 5 grip handles on. Unfortunately, the other one I heard shoot across the room. So I got one side of all those little handrails on. I only managed to shoot 2 of them across the room, as you can see. I think that's enough torture for now. I'll wait a few hours before doing the other side. Started putting the turret armor that surrounds the turret on. This looks like it's going to be quite challenging, especially when you look at the diagram and the precision that must be done with this model in order to achieve this. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to get all these pieces on. Now, even these side rails here, like, that's going to be quite challenging to have all 4 of those line up, but I'm going to try my best. There's 5 pieces in total that go around that are plating around the turret. This is one of the 5. It's the largest of the 5. 2 of the 5 do not have any cross members to support it, like right here. Only the back one and the front 2 have some cross members. What a challenge. So I have prepped the 2 forward pieces of armor that sit here and here on the model. So as I mentioned, a couple hours later, I'd do the other side of the plate armor. Here it is. I managed to get almost every grab handle on the side except for this one that's shot to my right somewhere. The only thing I like about not having that piece is that if this machine was used, it would be a matter of time before some kind of foreign debris like a rock or a piece of wood would get up through the tracks and come up and knock one of these grab handles off. So it does kind of look authentic not having them all there. I've built the part of the side of the Panzer IV that will support the track armor. I didn't realize that each of these spikes actually goes into one of them hooks, and this is how they would remove the armor in the event they needed to get out of bogey or fix the track, something along those lines. I managed to get both armor-plated sides on the Panzer. I still have the turret armor to place. Finally starts to come together as a tank. You can now see it for what it was in the 1940s. This is our last piece of details that we have yet to install. We got some extra bogey wheels, jerry cans, some helmets. Over here we have some pots and pans, extra track links, tow cables. A lot of this stuff has to go on after you paint the model. I did put a row of tracks along the front of my tank. I am going to add all 3 of the helmets, the pots and pans, and the jerry cans, but they have to go on at a later date. So with that being said, I think it's time we get on down to the paint booth. Got the first coat of primer on. Now I'm going to re-highlight a lot of it tan and use the black primer coat to highlight and accent different areas with a lighter coat of tan. The first coat of tan on. This was airbrushed. I'm now going to switch from tan to burnt umber color. So that's tan, burnt umber, and Christmas green to give it this German camouflage pattern. I've gone ahead and added some black highlights now, like on the exhaust port, the machine guns, the track on the front muzzle, And I've gone and done some dry brushing of black in different areas as well. Officially got both tracks secured to the chassis. Finally, we get to see it all put together. My Panzer ScaleModel. This was a fun little kit for the $10 I paid. You can tell it takes a more advanced modeler to complete it. I really noticed it when adding on the hull armor up here. In order to install that in the proper fashion, it would take a lot more attention to detail than I gave it. You can put this kit together relatively fast. I'd say you could probably put it together proper in under 3 hours. But to paint it proper is going to take you a lot longer than 3. I'd say all in all, you're in 6 hours. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment. Any questions you might have, comment below. I'll get back to them promptly. Thank you.